Culmination of the most ambitious tournament in boxing history. For after 2 years, 10 bouts, 6 original fighters, and a pair of substitutes, the final 2 combatants of Showtime's Super 6 World Boxing Classic will meet.
I've never done face-to-face with an opponent like this before.
I mean, the stakes are high, so there's already enough tension in the room.
Talk is cheap. I've seen it so many times.
A fight before the fight, no.
Do you want me to be brutally honest?
Froch can do his thing, and I'm gonna do my thing. We'll see what happens.
And we welcome the WBA champion, Andre Ward, and the WBC super middleweight champion, Carl Froch. This trophy right here, you guys have spent your entire life dreaming about winning belts. You each have belts. This trophy now has put the 6 best super middleweights in front of one another. And now it's come down to you two, two original guys who signed on. But what does this trophy mean to you, Andre?
I wouldn't want to take one without the other. I wouldn't want to take the belts and leave the cup. I've been dreaming about and believing that I would have that cup in my house, in my trophy case, since we started. I believed it was possible. I knew it was a lot of work up ahead. I knew it would be no cakewalk to get there, but it's within reach. And I'm fired up about it. The BC belt being on the line, my belt being on the line, and of course the coveted Ring Magazine belt to end any argument about who's the best super middleweight in the world. I'm excited, man.
And you? Your feelings on this trophy?
It's part of a package. It's not just a trophy. The trophy represents, to me, greatness. So winning that, there'd be no argument about the greatness. Do you feel you'd be a great, hypothetically speaking, if you was to put that in your trophy cabinet? Because let me tell you, it's not happening. But
well,
hypothetically, would you be a great?
I think it'd be a good win.
So you won't be a great?
You know, I was just raised a little bit different, Carl. You know, the way my father raised me, we don't pat ourselves on the back, and we don't call ourselves great. We let other people do that.
Okay, you don't need to go all deep and meaningful and start talking about daddies. All I'm saying is it's a yes/no answer. So if the answer's no, that's fine.
I'm great. If the media feels like
okay, I get it.
Then so be it. But what you got to understand is, in this conversation or in our fight, you're not in control. And that's what you love to be in. And when you're not in control, you can't handle it.
I'm in control.
You try to out-talk people. You want to try to be philosophical, but then when I'm philosophical, I'm getting too deep. You're not in control. You don't control
a simple question.
What I say and my responses. You stay on your side of the table and you answer the way you want to, and I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
Jim Gray is narrating this, not you.
Okay.
Not Carl Froch. It's not the Carl Froch show.
Is it not? Thanks for pointing that out.
And that's good for TV.
Let me ask you then. In London, you said that Carl talks too much. He likes to hear himself talk, but he really doesn't know what he's talking about. What were you referring to?
Well, I think he gives himself too much credit. I think that it's too premature to call yourself a legend. If you want to call yourself great, then you know that's up to you. He's built up to be invincible, and no man is invincible. Any man can be knocked out. I've watched closely, and because I don't speak out on these things, sometimes they're not, you know, people think that I'm aloof or that I'm not paying attention, but, you know, I saw the real buzz, Carl Froch, 2 times in that fight. I saw Robert McCracken, who I respect and believe is a really good trainer, pleading with Carl in the corner, mate, please don't blow this fight. I saw Carl on his knees prior to the fight with Darrell, hoping for a victory in his hometown. But then he gets up and he says, oh, that was a piece of cake, that was a cakewalk.
Do you mean before the decision was announced?
Before the decision was announced.
Now, when Andre Darrell dropped on one knee, I thought to myself, what the fuck are you doing down there? Get up, fool. That's what I thought. And then, you know, I thought to myself, hang on a minute, it's a Showtime production. I'm new on the television channel. It's the Super 6. It's, you know, it's a unity of 6 fighters coming together and fighting each other. Let's get involved. So I went down against my will on one knee. I knew I'd won the fight, but I just got involved in the emotion of that. And then I stood up. When I watched it back, I sickened myself. Why did I get down on one knee with that idiot? You know, the way he behaved, it was idiotic. He might not be an idiot personally, but the way he was carrying on prior to the fight and after the fight, and bitching and moaning, it wasn't manly. But no, I regret doing that. So that was nothing as if, oh, it's a close fight, have I won it, have I not lost it? I shouldn't have done that.
I mean, only you know. But, you know, I've watched closely, and I saw Kessler
He caught me with a shot in round 10
I saw
on
Kessler.
my back foot, but it didn't hurt me, it didn't rock
Well,
me.
I mean, again, that remains, you know, hey, you can tell us better than we know.
Jermaine Taylor put me over, but
I'm not even, I'm not even, well, I mean, let him tell he's never been hurt. But that's the definition of getting hurt.
When you got put down, it was the guy that put you down, you must remember.
You absolutely remember, Darnell Boone.
Darnell Boone, I mean, I don't know what his record's like or if he's a puncher, but I've got to be honest, you looked hurt. And for the next 2 rounds,
I was, and as a man, I have no problem saying I was hurt.
So you was holding on for dear life for 2 rounds after that, and you got the points decision. Now this guy's a non-puncher, so you got to ask yourself this little question.
Well, let me just
this guy hurt you.
Let me just say this, Carl. Like I told you before, man, you got to come better than that, man.
No, I'm not trying to come with anything.
In terms of the mind games,
I don't even know the guy's name.
No, I get it.
I don't know his record, but what you're saying is the guy's hurt you.
Let me just say.
I've never been hurt in the sense that I've been put over and I've had to hang on for 2 rounds.
Well, that's what you say.
So,
but you have to understand this, and I'm gonna give myself a little credit. I don't have any shame with the Darnell experience because that's what makes a fighter. I got dropped, and I got back up, and I found a way to get the win. Okay, but let's forget about that for a minute and look at who I fought. Now I fought some of the biggest punchers in the game. In this division, Alan Green. And like you said, you think that a fight with me and Darrell would be interesting. I think a fight with you and Green when he was at his peak and had his confidence might have been interesting. Or a fight with Sakio Bika.
I don't think Alan Green is a super middleweight. He's dead at the weight.
Might be.
It's a pointless fight.
A fight with Sakio Bika might be.
Just look at what Johnson did to Green.
Can I finish stating my point?
Sorry, yeah, go on.
Sakio Bika may be interesting. But the point is I've fought the best in the division. I've been hit by him, and I've responded the way a champion is supposed to respond. But you don't get credit like that. Everybody ignores when Kessler buckled Carl Froch. And it's not a knock because it happens. This is professional boxing. But he gets the tag of granite chin. I got knocked down, I don't know how many years ago. And I haven't been off my feet since. And I've responded again against the best in the division without the respect of having the chin that I'm supposed to have. So just because he says that I don't have a chin, I know what I possess.
Who are you talking about the best in the division? Not Edison Miranda. He got knocked out by Abraham, Howard Eastman, a middleweight. He's a middleweight.
I'm talking about the best in our division.
Okay, Edison Miranda, who else?
Yeah, Edison Miranda can crack.
So,
I don't care how old he is, who he lost to, Edison Miranda can crack.
He's easily beatable.
Edison Miranda can
been
crack.
Beat a few times.
Arthur Abraham, out of your own mouth.
Yeah, he can punch.
He's got bricks in both hands, what you said.
He can punch.
And he can get Ward out of there with one shot. Well, he landed the one shot.
He didn't land it. Did he land it?
He landed the one shot. See, Carl wants to be in control.
I've got to be honest, I've watched that fight once.
He wants to be in control.
In company.
But this is the deal. He's never fought a fighter like me.
I think you're reading into me too much.
The things that he says doesn't have the effect that he wants to have.
You're putting yourself on a pedestal that you shouldn't be doing. It's dangerous.
I get the feeling that there's something you dislike about him. Do you dislike him?
No, I've got to be totally honest, no. If I did dislike Andre Ward, I'd tell you and I'd tell him to his face that I dislike him.
No, I don't think I dislike him. I think, there's actually some things to like about Carl Froch. He's actually likable in some ways.
What are they?
But I gotta think about that. But I just think what's not likable is the the extra bravado, the extras that are on top.
Carl, you said as long as this will be a clean and fair fight, you won't have a trouble at all with Andre. What that insinuates is that you think that he hasn't been clean or he hasn't been fair. Were you referring to Kessler and the headbutts?
Yeah, the Kessler headbutts, especially early on in that fight, they were very bad, very unfair, whatever you want to call them. His head went in. Every cut that opened up on Kessler's face was caused by a headbutt.
If the fight's fair and it's clean, which it'll be up to the referee and to the two combatants, really, to keep it clean and fair, you're going to win the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think he's a dirty fighter?
He can be. I can be just as dirty. If I wouldn't use my head or my elbows, we can all be dirty. Glenn Johnson hit me low and the referee told him don't hit him low, and then the first punch I threw was straight in the guy's nuts. When the ref said box, I hit him back in below the belt. And the ref pulled and said don't hit him low, and I said, all right, it's one each. That's how I operate.
You a dirty fighter?
Absolutely not. This is boxing. And, things happen. Do I know how to headbutt somebody and not risk getting cut myself, no. But I understand what Carl is trying to do, and I understand what.
Did you watch your fight with Kessler and see how you opened his cuts up?
I understand what his job is, you know, and that's to take my performances, especially Kessler, because I think that's the fight that really gets to him. You know, he can't live down the fact that I beat somebody that he didn't beat. So, of course, he wants to pick it apart and highlight something that really happened toward the end of the fight, not the beginning, if you really watch it.
What round did he get caught?
You said,
what rounds was
you know,
he
you
caught?
watched it in its entirety, so.
What rounds was he caught?
But to ignore everything else that took place.
Ignore the question.
Outside.
What round was Kessler caught?
The butts. You know, that's just him being Carl Froch.
What round did Kessler get caught?
I couldn't tell you, but I know it was late.
It wasn't late.
It was late. It wasn't in the beginning, I can tell you that.
Round 4, round 5, he got caught, then he got another cut.
Could be. But
Is he minimizing your accomplishments?
Absolutely.
I've got no intention of doing that.
But that's okay. That's all right.
I don't benefit by minimising his accomplishments at all.
So you're just speaking the truth as you see it.
There you go.
You're not trying to get in his head and rile him up.
I don't need to get in his head. He knows about me. He knows what I can do. He doesn't need me to tell him. He doesn't need me to downplay his performances, to try and make myself feel better or diminish what he's done at all. He knows what I've done. He knows I'm a dangerous fighter. He knows I'm brutal. He knows I can punch hard. He knows if I connect on his chin at any one moment, 12 3-minute rounds, he's going to be in serious trouble. If he's not on the floor, his legs will do a funny dance. Because I punch hard. He says I don't knock out people at top level. The important thing is I hurt them. And if you hurt a fighter, you stop him in his tracks. I don't feel Andre Ward can hurt me. I don't think he hurts many fighters.
Even though everybody thought you had a great chin, now it's become known as the chin. One of the best chins in all of boxing at this point.
I've been totally
Is that
honest.
something that you find to be a great attribute, or are you just getting hit too much to have to put it to the test?
I'm getting hit too much. It's wrong. I shouldn't be getting hit. The best chin is the one that doesn't get hit, let me tell you. That's the best chin in the business.
What do you think of this guy's chin? I mean, he took some blows that really would have knocked down walls.
In the school of boxing that I come from, that's frowned upon, giving up free shots. Because we know what those kind of shots do to a man's career, regardless of whether it shows up now or shows up when you least need it. It takes a toll. He's got one body, one brain, and the more shots you take, the quicker you break down in this sport. So I think he takes a good shot, but I take a good shot too. But taking too many shots is not good for any fighter.
I'll second that.
And that's not really the reputation you really want.
You know, I'm going into this fight knowing full well that Andre's not going to knock me out. I know that. And that's a nice feeling.
You guys got that.
Exactly. Make sure you have got it. We'll have a little bet if you want.
About 8 cameras got
There's
it.
absolutely
Every
no
angle.
way you can knock me out.
I hear you.
No chance.
That's good for TV.
Right?
That's a great
It's not
one-liner.
about television.
It's a great one-liner.
It's not about television. It's not about me trying to be bravado. I'm telling you now, categorically, you cannot render me unconscious
That's good for TV.
without a mallet.
That's good.
Without a mallet. But guess what? I can knock you out
That's good for
with
TV.
either hand. Forget the TV. Ignore the television.
Do you believe you can knock him
I
out?
can knock you out, and you know that deep
Any
down.
fighter can be knocked out. And that's my mindset. I make every...
So you also
I make
believe you can be knocked out then?
any fighter can be knocked out, but will it be Carl Froch? No.
Get that on TV. I'm coming looking for the knockout. That's what I'm doing. I'm excited about it. It's sport. It's a big fight. Andre Ward's a great fighter. But I'm looking at knocking him out. Or the referee seeing enough damage and jumping in there. That's my game. You don't usually give your game away. That's what I'm looking at doing. Nothing wrong with that. It's part and parcel of the sport. He might be trying to do the same.
I love it.
He might be trying to do the same.
I love it.
You're wanting to smile. Why won't you?
I love it. That's what big-time boxing is all about. I love it.
Don't fall in love with it too much.
So the conversation will continue, probably right up until fight night. Join us here on Showtime. We'll see you then.
It's been a pleasure.
You don't have to squeeze my hand, man.
You always squeeze my hand.
You don't have to
You
squeeze
always
my
squeeze my hand.
All right, I'm gonna lose.
Squeezed it in Vegas.
No, you squeezed it in Atlantic City.
You squeezed it in Atlantic
No,
City.
man, listen, we're in Atlantic City. I'm trying to get my hand
Is
back.
grip too tough for you?
Nah, he's looking at me like this. While he's squeezing my hand, I'm like, bro, let my hand go. That's him, man.
Shake my hand as you just shook his.
See, he didn't, nah, see, he
he's
didn't,
an Andre Ward.
he didn't shake my hand like that.